would you say that that's why probably you take, or you used to take like super drugs?
A lot of drugs. Yeah, that's why I do drugs.
When was the first time you tried your first drug? Any drug? How old were you?
Well, I started smoking weed when I was 12.
12 years old, and you started smoking weed.
That's when I started smoking weed.
You were smoking with friends, or?
Yeah, I started smoking with friends.
You were in school?
Yeah, I was in school. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was after school, but
yeah, but you were okay.
Yeah, I've never failed out of school.
Yeah,
I mean, well, actually, I did actually fail 10th grade, but then I skipped 11th grade.
I see.
Yeah, so I mean, I failed 10th, but I skipped 11th because I'm a smart motherfucker.
So, weed was your first drug. How old were you? Sorry, for how long were you smoking? For how long?
Well, I paid through college.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be the weed man. I paid. So my dad never bought me nothing. He refused to buy me anything. So he said, you need to get a job if you want anything. You want food on the table. You want clothes on your back. You want this, that, and the third. You need to supply it yourself. I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Because that's how he was raised.
Yeah,
right? So to start with this, all right. My father, not my biological dad, but my father, right?
Correct.
The man that raised me. His dad died when he was 12 from a heart attack, died right in front of his face. And then his mom died in a fire when he was 15.
In a fire?
Yeah, his mom died in a fire. So he raised himself from 16 and up.
Shit.
Yeah, so he doesn't know anything besides taking care of yourself.
Correct.
And that's what he instilled upon me, is you need to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, he said, look, I'm going to give you a roof over your head. Anything else you need is on you to supply. You want food, you buy your food. You want clothes, you buy your clothes, whatever the fuck it might be. So that's why I started getting into the drug game. So, I mean, I started selling weed, I started selling coke, I started selling other miscellaneous shit.
How about alcohol? How old were you when you first drank alcohol?
I didn't start drinking until I went to Germany, actually.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so not until I was 21.
You first start with weed, and then you switch, or you move up to coke. You start.
It was weed, meth, then coke.
Which one you try first, the meth or the coke?
I did meth before I did coke.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you get in touch with meth? What is meth?
Meth is, well, technically it's methamphetamine. It's crystal.
It's like a pill, or I never seen crystal in my.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard.
It's
to
like
explain.
a rock.
I mean, it's.
Or is something you can.
No, it's fucking crystals, dude. I mean,
really,
it's
like
just crystals.
Crystals.
You get them in a bag, yeah. So
how do you take those?
I used to get a fucking half ounce for like fucking $100, dude.
$100.
But also, I knew the supply of the supply. I mean, like I knew like the main man that was on shit.
I see.
Yeah. That ruined my life for quite a while.
How old were you when you first take it?
I was 18 when I first.
18 years old when you first take meth.
When I first took it, yeah. I mean, I was selling it before, but I didn't start smoking until I was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you take the crystals? Like, do you smoke them or?
No, so you know what a crack pipe is?
Yeah.
All right. So what it is, it's a pipe, right? So you have the tube, and then you have a bowl.
I think I've seen those in Breaking Bad.
Then you have a bowl right here, and then you have like a little hole right here. So what you would do is you would grab the meth, and you'd put it in the fucking.
And you light it up.
In the thing right here, and then what you would do is you smoke it. So you light it from the bottom,
and
then you turn it.
Yeah,
right?
I've seen those in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, so you slightly turn it, so that way you go from the right to the left, to the right to the left. So because you don't want to burn it too fast, because if you burn it too fast, then it's gonna fucking just burn.
I see.
But what you want to do is you want to get an even fucking burn. So you just fucking just rotate it. And then from there you just then from there, you feel phenomenal. You feel like goddamn Superman. You feel like Batman.
How do you feel? Like, do you have something like visual effects? Are you seeing hallucinations?
No visual effects.
No visual effects. It's just like in your
you just
mood.
You just feel like Superman. You feel like Batman. You feel like fucking.
You feel like you are the one.
You're invincible.
The main character in the movie.
You're the main. Yeah, you're him. You're him.
I see.
You know. Yeah.
So for how long does it last? The effect? Couple hours, couple minutes.
Like 8 hours. Dude.
8 hours.
No, minimum. Yeah.
Holy fuck! So it's
like
serious shit.
So I mean, it hits everybody different. I mean, so it's like 8 to fucking 15 hours, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the one that doesn't make you sleep? Like you don't have any sleep?
No. You ain't sleeping. No. That's when you start getting fucked up, is because you hit it, and then you love it.
You love it
because
so
it makes you feel so goddamn
you love the
good.
feeling, yeah.
And then you don't want to stop smoking it, and then so you keep smoking it.
Do you keep smoking every 8
yeah.
hours?
Huh?
Do you keep smoking every 8 hours, or you smoke whenever you are?
No.
Do you want to keep smoking even whenever you?
You take that first hit,
you
taking a second hit, then you taking a third, then you taking a fourth, then you taking a
all
fifth.
those in a row.
You smoking that shit, dog. You smoking it.
I see. Yeah.
There's no breaks, cause you just fucking. It gives you such a dopamine hit.
Yeah.
You're not giving that shit up, so you just keep on going. It's the most beautiful thing in the world, but it's the most dangerous thing in the world. You can't explain in between. Unless you've done it, you won't understand.
Do you have an abstinence syndrome after you quit?
You have a what?
How do you call it? Whenever you quit something and then you feel like shit.
Oh, that's when you get suicidal.
What's the name of that effect? Abstinence?
Abstinence?
Yeah.
Well, abstinence, I mean, for me, that's just when I think of sex. It's abstinence of sex.
Abstinence of sex. Okay, I've never heard that before.
Sorry, I'm a horny individual.
One more time, check the link in the description. He's looking for females.
Latinas, what's up, ladies?
I love how you make emphasis in Latinas, man.
Yeah, I like Latinas. You know what I mean? Wolfman Jack 808.
I'm pretty sure if you go to Mexico, you will have a lot of girls over there because they love, like, you have like the gringo looking, like the stereotype. You had it. You're white. You have the beard. You look like Thor.
Well, I mean, first of all, when you look like me, you can get anybody you want.
Come on, Jim.
Nah, that's false. That's false. That's false.
False.
Falsa puta over here.
Falsa puta. And you know Spanish too.
That's German. Yeah.
That's German.
That's German.
Oh man.
No.
So that was the first big drug, we'll say.
You had to cut that one out.
You want me to cut it off?
You had to cut that one.
Yeah. I'll cut it off, no worries. So that was the first big drug you take, the meth.
The meth was the biggest one. Yeah.
And you were getting like addiction to meth.
I smoked it every day for 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
3.5
So whenever
years.
You were 18, 18, 19, and 20. Or 21.
Well, we
So
would go pick up from him, and then from there, if I had it on me, I was smoking it.
You were smoking it.
If I didn't have it on me, I was good to go. So that's why I was able to quit, because eventually I just said, I'm not getting any more. Fuck this shit. But I also had two of my teeth concave.
Holy shit.
On each other, right? So if you look on the back.
Oh, I see, yeah.
You see the metal?
Yeah. I used to have those when I was a kid. I drink too much. I eat too much chocolate.
For me, no. Both of my teeth, I literally just watched them fucking concave. It was painful as shit.
It is painful, yeah.
It was painful.
It is
but
super painful.
They literally fucking, like the outside,
yeah,
went in, and then the inside went in. And it was a painful fucking experience. And I watched that shit happen. I looked in the mirror because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I looked in the mirror and I watched that shit happen. And that made it even 10 times more painful because now you're looking at it.
Yeah.
So you know when something happens, if you don't see it, That's one thing, but when you see it
When you
happen,
see it, you start freaking out.
yeah,
And unconsciously, it's
yeah.
that shit happens to me once.
I was fucked, dude. It's a shame because I used to be a good boy.
Used to be a good boy.
I used to be a fucking very good boy.
What do you think when everything changed?
Nothing.
When was the day whenever you made like that transition? If you were a good boy, or if you were,
Went from a good boy to a bad boy.
well, I don't think you're a bad boy. It's just like you just haven't, you start getting drugs. You just told me that you were not feeling happy and you were having depression since you were 12. So the marijuana, the weed, what it does is that it gives you this impression that everything is okay, and it just relaxes you. It plays with your mind and your perspective. And some people can say that it's good. Some others will say that it's not. I say that it depends of each person because each person is different. Each your body is different and everything. But whenever you are feeling depressed and you get into weed, I don't think that's good. Especially whenever you are struggling, or you are having, you are going through a painful process in your life. Somebody close to you died, something happens to you. You don't feel confident. You don't feel whatever, you name it. And whenever you start smoking, I think you will have not problem, but you can have a potential addiction. And because I smoke weed, the first time I smoked weed, I smoked it. I was probably I was not even 21. I was 19 or 20, and I smoked it only once. The first time I smoked it was probably when I was 20, and I remember I used to try it from my friend, and I just did it for one night, and I was like, oh shit, that's good. I was just like, oh shit, it feels different. Nothing like alcohol, because I was drinking before. I was not used to drink, because in Mexico, as soon as you turn 18, you're good to go. It's not like here that you gotta wait for 20.
You have to wait till 21.
Yeah. Whenever, as soon as you turn 18, you're able to vote. You're able to drink or smoke, whatever. But no, you're good. But I tried first, and I was like, oh shit, this feels different. It doesn't feel like alcohol. It doesn't feel like anything else. But I didn't create an addiction. I think because my life was in a good point. I was having a good job. I was in a school. I was doing some other stuff. My mind was busy. I was going back to work. But now we change the scenario. And if you have, you name it, how old you want it to be. Of course, the older you are, you have more control, I will say, or you have a different perspective.
Yeah.
But if you have a person that is going through something, and he got, access to weed or any other drug, I think it's gonna be hard, and I think that guy potentially can have an addiction. So would you say that that's probably why you get into drugs? Because you were feeling depressed, you start smoking weed, and then you move from weed to meth?
So, I'll say this. You're the first person to actually ask me this question. So, I will give you respect on that one. My life is very equal to a lot of fucking people. So, I'm not trying to act like I'm special in any of this. This is just how my life was and how it, and how I reacted to it. I'm not saying that I reacted to it in the best way, possible at all.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be this is gonna be most people's story. I think. I feel like a lot of people have this fucking story.
Yeah.
I was. My mom let another man raise me, knowing that I wasn't his kid.
Yeah.
So I grew up with a father that wasn't my father. Luckily, after being in Child Protective Services for a long time, he ended up getting sober. He fucking took care of me because he thought that he was my dad at the time.
I see.
But then we realized he's not my fucking dad because we're just so fucking different and shit like that. So I was a good kid at first. I was a very good fucking kid.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was happy-go-lucky. I was fucking, you know, I was just a lovable little motherfucker. Like, you could not like me.
Yeah.
There's no, you could not like me.
There was no way you were.
I was cute as shit. You know what I mean? I was a goddamn fucking teddy bear on the wall. You know what I mean? But then after some point, life got to me, you know? And then I started you get into teenage years. And then you start fucking fighting the one person that actually gives a fuck about you. Right? Yeah, you start fighting that person. And then it gets progressively worse. I don't know. Eventually what happens is you try to escape your reality. Is really what it comes down to being. You
That's
try
what
to
drugs
escape
do.
your reality.
Yeah.
And the weed was the first one. That was cool. And then the whole got into the game. Yeah, so I got recruited by Hawaii.
How old were you
I was 16.
whenever they recruit you?
Yeah. And then you gotta do some shit. But I mean, you feel like you're joining a family, but you're not joining a family. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you gotta do some shit to get into it. And that'll fuck with you.
Some crazy shit.
That'll fuck with you. Yeah.
So you say something interesting. You said that they treat you like a family. You see, I mean, the connection here is that we're humans. We are not dogs. Although we're animals.
Yeah, but sometimes we get treated like dogs.
Yeah, we are, and we did, and that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Although I think that all a person needs is to feel that he's welcome and that he belongs, and then he's important and people care about him.
All we need is love.
All we need is love, yeah.
All we need is love.
All we need is love.
If I show you love, you're gonna feel love.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna love me, and I'm gonna love you, and I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
And you're gonna take care of me.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. But that's not how life fucking works.
Well, each person has a different story, and each person goes through different scenarios. Some of them are happier, some others are terrifying, like the one you were just telling me at 16.
It was not terrifying.
Well, probably not terrifying, but being like shitty scenarios, or like you gotta go through a bunch of shit.
My life is easy compared to a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm just hearing this, and
I'm not trying to sit here and act like my life is fucking tough or like it was difficult. I've been blessed by God.
Yeah.
I've been fucking lucky as shit.
Correct.
I went through some shit, but I've also been lucky as shit. There's been so many other people that have fucking gone through way fucking worse.
Way difficult.
And I'm not going to try to pretend like that's not the case.
Yeah, it's not. But I'm just facing your reality. I'm facing your life against mine. When I was 16, I felt that my life was shitty because my parents, they moved here to the States and I was alone in Mexico. And they offered me, they were like, you want to come with us? And I was like, no, I still got to finish my high school here. So I was by myself, living in our house in Mexico at 16. And I thought they abandoned me. I thought that they will be like, all right, fuck this kid, we're going. And I felt that they left me behind. And I got depressed. I never get into any drugs, but because I never had the option. Although I thought that if I got the option, like if I had some friends that were like, oh yeah, smoke this weed or, you know, get this med, probably I will, because I was vulnerable at that position at that age. And I was like, bro, I was 16 when that happens. Now you're telling me that you were 16 and you see the big difference. There's a big contrast. So each person is going through something, and it's okay if you feel that your life is not the best right now, but there's always going to be someone that is going to something way more
always
difficult
someone going through worse
than you, going to a worst scenario.
There's girls that were fucking on Epstein's Island at fucking
The
5
Jeffrey
years
Epstein.
old. You know what I
Man,
mean?
that's
Getting fucking
raped.
yeah.
And they were just kids. They were
That's
just childs.
That's way worse than anything I fucking went through. So I can't sit here and
No, but at the same time, I feel that you had a point, and not only a point. Like your life is not like, you know, a normal life or a traditional life for a 16-year-old boy. Like you were.
who's normal? Who's gone through a normal life? Ain't nobody gone through a normal life.
Not to
Everyone
a normal
goes
life.
through fucking trauma.
Probably not to a normal life because they're having troubles. We all have troubles, but not like those troubles. Like being recluse for that's not, you know. I mean, some people, they have trouble like, oh, I can afford pay for going to whatever, you name it, at 16, and your parents didn't want to buy you your shoes. Your parents didn't want to, or your family doesn't have enough money. And now you guys gotta go to a different. You gotta move to an apartment. You gotta leave your school. You know, those are the regular problems that most people at 16 has with, you know, with parents.
Yeah.
But being recluded by that's, without respect. I don't want any troubles with any. I give my respect to every person.
All respect to the. All respect to the.
I do respect every person in this world. I don't want any problems. I'm just here making a podcast. That's it. I'm a normal guy.
Yo, if any of you guys have any issues, you come talk to me. My name is John Jack. I live on.
I'm gonna put a beep on that.
Nah, you can come find me if you want. You want to fucking murder my ass? You come find my ass.
No, I'm putting a beep to that.
I'm right here, dog. I ain't hiding from nobody.
No. I'm gonna
I don't
put it.
give no fucks.
No, but so you were. Which was the next drug you tried?
After
meth.
meth, it was mushrooms. All right, so this was the progression. Realistically, it was weed, it was mushrooms, it was acid, it was meth, it was cocaine, it was DMT, and then it was that's pretty much about it. Yeah, DMT is some of my favorite drug of all time.
What's DMT? You know what it stands for?
I don't know what it stands for. No, I don't know what it stands for, but that's the most amazing drug. If you ever want to change your life, if you ever have anything that you really want to fucking like, if you have any issues in life whatsoever, DMT is the one that's going to get you fucking to figure that shit out. Or it's mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I will take 7 grams of mushrooms at a time. And I will trip fucking balls. And I will figure out whatever it is that I need to figure out. And that's going to be mainly because I couldn't figure it out on my own. And that's the shit that you really want to get into. Mushrooms are fucking beautiful things. Anybody that's going through any personal issues, do some mushrooms.
Would you recommend to other people do some mushrooms? If they
I recommend to everybody to do mushrooms. Everybody.
There's this actually.
I think you should do some mushrooms.
You think I should do some mushrooms?
I'll do some mushrooms with you, bro. We'll go on a goddamn trip together, bro.
I'll thought about it, because I've been reading this article from
I'll be your shaman, dog. I'll be your shaman.
You'll be the shaman. There's this research. There is even a documentary on Netflix. You guys should watch it. it talks about mushrooms actually and how they are using the mushrooms to implement the studies and the research about the brain and neuroscience. There is actually a lot of potential power in mushrooms that we don't know and we're not aware.
It's honestly a beautiful thing.
I don't know,
It
but
really
I guess
is.
I never tried those. I probably will, but I
You want to do some with me?
not today.
Well, not today. No. I gotta go to
Probably.
a hockey game after
I would say
this.
probably.
No, I'm
I
going
don't
to a
know.
hockey game after this, so I'm not gonna do it.
There's I mean, like mushrooms and weed. I've heard some different perspectives. I've been watching a lot of well, not a lot, but I watch some videos like people talking about the experiences with mushrooms, and it's similar to weed.
No, it's not.
It's not even close.
Not even close.
Really?
Not even close.
What's the main difference?
Weed makes you relaxed. Mushrooms makes you think.
Makes you think. Oh shit.
Yeah. So that's my main thing. So if, for example, you're going through something in your life and you can't quite figure out how to bypass it, and you can't quite figure out how to get past that, or you can't quite figure out
Yeah.
what you need to do, you take a significant amount of mushrooms. Your mind,
Are you talking about
You'll
like
figure that
getting a
shit out.
different perspective, like seeing the bigger picture, probably a point of view that you were not able to see because of your
Exactly.
emotions?
exactly.
And whenever
Yeah.
you take mushrooms, it makes you see the same thing, but in a different perspective. And now you have a.
Exactly. Yeah.
I see.
It gives you a different perspective.
Because I will never recommend doing drugs to a person that is going through like
I recommend
break
mushrooms
up.
to everybody that's over here.
no. No. I mean, I would recommend because I mean it's natural. It's the weed, for example, is a plant. Mushrooms are mushrooms, right? But I will not recommend to anybody, of course, doing drugs. Although if you're gonna do drugs, I will recommend either weed because, in my perspective, I don't smoke frequently, but it just I remember it gives me a different perspective about my life. It just makes me see like the bigger picture, if you want to say it like that. So now that you're saying that whenever you have a situation or like an issue, a problem, and whenever you try mushrooms, I will not say that it will help you to solve the issue. Although it might give you a different perspective, it will give you the bigger picture so you can think differently about the same issue, right? Although I will never recommend do any drugs to anybody. If you guys are able to see that different perspective by yourselves by doing another thing, good for you. And do not do drugs at all. That will be my advice.
And I'll second that too. I know I've been talking about doing drugs and shit like that, but
No,
at the end of
I'm
the day,
curious.
I do agree with Tony right here, Tony Tornado.
Tony Tornado.
Don't do drugs, okay? Drugs are not they're not
That's not the way.
They're not gonna make everything okay. What you need to do at the end of the day is you need to learn to just love yourself, and that's the biggest thing that you can do. And that's the biggest positivity that you can bring to yourself. It's just love yourself.